Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup and I'm joined today by
Steve.
Cherry.
And we've just finished playing Scoville. Now the theme of this is really nice actually, it's chili peppers. You are farmers planting different colours of these chili peppers on this farm here, and then you go around harvesting them, and effectively you then cash them in by either trading them at the market or making recipes, and you get victory points, which are the flame icons, the recipes. So you have money in the game, and one important thing about the game is the turn order. So it starts with everyone bidding, like a closed fist bid, and you reveal and spend your money for turn order, and then in turn order you plant. So you're going to have some of these chilies in your supply, and you plant them on the board here. It has to be planted to one next to an existing one. So at the start you start in the middle, and then it gradually branches out. So we're each taking turns to plant the pepper, and then in reverse turn order, this is quite important, you get to harvest. And the way you harvest is you take your farmer and you move him up to 3 spaces. So he'd go from this space to this space. Each of the spaces are between 2 chilies, and you harvest depending on the chilies on either side. So in this case it's a blue and a green, and you consult the master chart here that tells you how to do it. Now it's a bit like mixing paint colours. So if you mix red, yellow or blue, like primary colour, with another primary colour, you get secondary colours like orange, purple and green. If you mix secondary colours and primary colours though, you just end up with brown. The brown ones aren't so good, but ultimately you're trying to mix them to get the white and the black ones, and then the crystal ones, which are the best. So you can see there's a supply over there with lots of different kinds of colours of chilies, and these are the crystal ones that get you the most points. So you can move there. Blue and green are going to mix to give you brown, I think, and then you could move here, for instance. What you couldn't go is go in that space because that farm is blocking the way. So the positional movement in this game is quite important. You want to block off people and plant chilies so that you can access them, but other people can't. So you harvest chilies to get more chilies, and then literally you just trade them in. So you can hand in a white and a purple here, we'll get you a black chili and 4 points, or you complete the recipes, which don't get you anything, but they do get you a lot of points at the end of the game. Alright, what do we think?
I really like this game. I think thematically, although it sounds a bit weird that if I plant a red and a blue chili I get a purple chili, I mean, what's the sense in that? But if you take that away from it, it's really easy to see, oh, I need a purple one, so I need a red and a blue, and you kind of get that fact because they've gone with common colour pairings. It's actually quite nice. The chart looks really confusing at the start. Once you've played it for like 10 minutes you get the hang of what the chart's going to do, and it is a race to get the best chilies. I think the how much money you bid and where you go in turn order is massively important. I think sometimes you want to go first, sometimes you want to go last, and rarely do you want to go in the middle. You either want to be first to do planting or first to do harvesting, in which case you need to be first or last. So kind of getting to the point where you're picking your order matters, but money's points. It's 1 point per 3 money at the end of the game, so you're effectively trading off points to get more points. There are these little bonus things you get for doing things first. So if you plant a brown pepper, you get 4 points. Okay, but if you plant a ghost pepper first, the crystal ones, you get 12 points. So planting first is great, but if you plant your pepper, then someone else gets to harvest it before you get to do it. So it's really, really frustrating in that sense of the word. I think it's paced beautifully. It plays up to 6 people, and it doesn't slow down that much with extra players. I think the length of the game is about an hour and a half, if that. And it's really, really fun. I like it.
Okay. Jerry?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I think when we were setting up, it looked a little bit complicated, but actually it was a lot simpler than I was expecting. It just flows quite well, and we picked it up really quickly. I agree with Steve that this table looks really complicated to start with as well, but you start picking up what the combinations make, and it's not too difficult after a while. I like that there was lots of different ways to score points. You never quite can figure out who's winning. It doesn't feel like anyone's really beating you from the start, but what really stood out for me was the quality of the pieces. I just like the way it looks. It's very engaging. Anyone that walks past is going to notice this. It fits with the theme. It's not just circular little tokens. There's these nice little chili pepper shaped icons that I just think that makes a big difference in making it seem like a much more engaging type of game.
Okay, rating out of 10?
I'd say about an 8.
All right, Steve?
Yeah, I agree with Joe about the board. I think the only downside is the board, because of the way it's done. It's kind of put together in a jigsaw. You need these holes in the board so the chilies stand up. Different coloured chilies are different heights, so if you are slightly colourblind or struggling to see, you can see this ghost chili here is absolutely massive compared to the primary chilies you get. So you can just differentiate them like that. But the board's wobbly. If you put your farmer on that middle spot there, they often, as you can see, they fall over. So it's my only downside about the quality of the boards. One other thing, just before we go, mentioning, you get these little bonus things you can do across the game. You can plant one extra pepper or double back or have one extra movement, but they're all worth 4 points. At the end of the game, if you've got them left at the end, it's worth 12 points. But you find that you end up using them because they are just that turn to plant that second pepper to get that extra bonus is pretty good. I think this is a solid game. I'd always happily play it. I'd rate it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I very much agree with both of them. Really enjoy this one. The theme is very original, and I like the kind of, although it really you're mixing paint effectively, again, thematically, the chili peppers, I don't quite understand the mixing, but it actually works well in terms of the gameplay. So you do quickly figure out, as they say, how to mix them, and planning ahead, it's like, oh, I need this kind of chili to fulfill this market order, or if I want to make this recipe, I need to get those chilies. And the blocking positional play works really well. There's lots to think about here, more than you first expect when you just start moving around and grabbing colours of chili peppers. So yeah, really like this. I'd be on an 8 out of 10 as well. Alright, thanks for watching. That was Scoville.